What is going on, guys? Um, I think this will be the last bit of my TTMs while I was gone. And it's a pretty nice stack, but the quality of stuff that's in here is pretty badass in my opinion. There's a couple things I wanted to talk about. Um, I had a buddy of mine. I won't say his last name, but his first name was Jason, and he worked for the Houston Texans. And things that I didn't know when Coach Kubiak got fired. I shot him an email and asked him how things were, and he's like, "Man, it's crazy around here, and people like don't talk. People don't even come out of their office anymore." And he just said it was a real shitty place to work. When 2 months prior to that, when I was there in his office, he was like, "Man, this place is amazing." At that point, he's been there for like 8 or 9 years. He's like, "It's the best place I've ever worked at. I couldn't imagine working anywhere else." Well, I guess when a new coach comes in, like Coach O'Brien, I believe is his name, they aren't just in charge of their coaches, they're in charge of like the entire staff, everybody, except for the owner. If unless you're the owner, your ass is on the line. And so I guess he came in and hired, oh man, what was it, like 175 or 165 people, which that's pretty much the entire staff, man. I mean, from like the littlest guy on the team, not the team itself, but the staff, the littlest guy on the staff, on up to his O and D coordinators. So my buddy got fired, and well, I don't want to say like buddy buddy. He was just kind of like my connection with the Texans. We'd always talk Navy stuff because he was in the Navy for 10 years and all that good stuff. Um, and the only phone number I had, man, was his office number and his personal, or not his personal cell, but his work cell number. And since he got fired, I can't get a hold of him. So I guess that will be one of my ongoing investigations, is to track Mr. Jason down. But just kind of put that story out there just to let you guys know, man, how much clout these coaches and managers have, man, on a professional team. Because I know I personally had no idea that a coach, would come in and just fucking level everybody and hire an entire new staff. It's early morning mail day, so I had to get some coffee in. Um, so that's that. And then my last thing is I'm going to be making a Houston Texans, we'll just call it Houston football Facebook page. I'll be asking a lot of you guys to join. Once I get it, it'll just be showing off my stuff. I'm really hoping that in the long term, that people not in the group or not affiliated with the groups that I'm affiliated with will see it and see that I'm interested in buying old school stuff. Man, I've been looking for, like for instance, I've been looking for some shoes or cleats used by Billy White Shoes Johnson of the Houston Oilers from back in the 80s. And dude, it is like impossible. I've even reached out to Mr. Johnson twice with no response. Reached out to Mr. Johnson. Not like that, like an actual person. Um, and no response. And so, but it's still a dude, like my number one guy I want to get that isn't a, isn't a Texan, Houston Texan. So that's enough of that. Probably in another 2 or 3 videos, once I got the Facebook page up and running, I'll give you guys the address and ask you guys to, I think, you end up liking these kind of pages. So here's the stuff. I had this card already signed by Mr. Ken Stabler, and I sent it off to Jay Barker. I believe this is like the 10th item I've had signed by Barker. but I seriously doubt I'll ever get that top one signed. It's Joe Namath. I sent some stuff to the Hall of Fame a couple videos back, and I got it back RTS for Namath. So I seen he had some returns on Star Tiger, but didn't happen for this guy. Clayton Richards. This is like a 200 plus day return because it was coming from my old address in Florida. And I sent this card to Mr. Scott Garlitz, and he sent me these two just as extras. And hey, I didn't even notice that one's not even signed. Well, anyways, he sent me these two as extras, and I thought it was funny because this is the set that I'm just started, man. I bought the set the other day, and I think I showed it on a video. That's like 700 and some odd cards in the set, and I just sent off like 10 the other day. So, needless to say, I have a little ways to go on that set, but Mr. Garlett's hooked it up, one less. Mr. Danny Walling. I bought this set, this 82 Fleer, I believe it is. Yep, 82 Fleer Astros set, just because that's the year I was born. I was born in Houston, and just thought it'd be kind of a fun personal thing to do. Phil Garner, Art Howe, and then this one I thought was pretty cool. Brett Butler. He signed those two, and then I threw in an index card just because I kind of went through a phase there where I kind of just threw in random index cards here and there in different TTMs just to see what would happen. And he signed this one with the smiley face. So I thought that was pretty funny. Into racing, all of these, once again, in my opinion, are pretty top-notch autographs. Mr. Jack Roush again. This one is super cool, man, because when I bought this set, I didn't know this guy was in it because he's an NFL quarterback, or he was. And on top of that, he was a quarterback for the Houston Oilers, Mr. Dan Pastorini. But I got this, and this was in the NHRA set, and it goes in to talk about how he's a Top Fuel owner, and basically he got into Top Fuel racing as a hobby to kind of get away from the day in day out life of the NFL. And so I thought that was really cool. I wrote him like a 2-page letter about his NHRA days and the Oilers and all that, and kind of asked quite a bit of questions in there, and I just got back a post-it note that said thanks for your letter. So I honestly hope he didn't read it, because if he read it and didn't respond, I kind of would have been probably butthurt. But moving on, Leonard Wood. He's a NASCAR Hall of Famer. Was stoked about getting this one, Mr. Trevor Bayne. But this is another one I was kind of sad to get because Trevor Bayne is also in that numbered to 99 sheet metal set that I still don't have his autograph. So that's another one down that I could have got, but I didn't. So woulda, coulda, shoulda, oh well. Moving on. Matt Kenseth. I've gotten this guy a lot, but I'm going to keep getting him just because I really like him. Junior Johnson, NASCAR Hall of Famer. And the legend, man, this is the Michael Jordan of NASCAR. So you better believe this will just be me being greedy and selfish. As long as he's signing TTM, I will be sending. Richard Petty. He signed in silver. It's kind of hard to see in person, and it's kind of hard to see on camera. But he signed 2 of 2 for me. I suggest you guys that even aren't into NASCAR send off to him. I mean, he seriously is like, Babe Ruth of of NASCAR and Michael Jordan and Wayne Gretzky, whatever you want to call it. You know, him and I'd probably say Dale Earnhardt Sr. are probably like the top two dudes. And as y'all know, Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s passed years and years back in a racing accident. So that's one I would definitely suggest you guys send to. And let me know if y'all do. I'd just like to see what y'all get. And finally, I got a Houston Texans return, a photo. I've probably sent off, I don't know, 30, 40 of these to current and ex-Texans, and they just have not been coming in at all. But I got this one in yesterday, and I was super excited. Chris Myers, he's our center, and that's the guy that snaps the ball to the quarterback. And on top of that, he's our Pro Bowl center. Um, Pro Bowl is like an all-star game in baseball. So huge return. Happy to get that. That's it, guys. Mail's been a little slow lately, so we'll see what happens. Um, but yeah, that's it. I got a bunch to say, but we'll put in another video. So until next time, guys, adios.